Millie Odhiambo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I wish to start by saying that one of my favorite books is Good Girls Never Get the Corner Office. Mr. Speaker, this is in response to what you are telling me earlier in the morning when you are urging me to be a good example to the girls, the younger ones who are doing their first term. Mr. Speaker, if they are good girls, they'll never get corner office. Be as bad as Millie Odhiambo, you will be the mother of this house. I am a bad girl, and as a bad girl, I'm here serving my 4th term. So do not be cheated like the African culture where you are told have decorum, dress nicely, be kind, be nice. I'm telling you, you will go nowhere. Be a bad girl like me and you'll get somewhere. Mr. Speaker, having said that, I wish to declare my interest under the standing orders number 90, which Wamuchomba stood on, because I don't want to be declared disorderly. And that is because when you have a pecuniary or personal interest, you declare. And Mr. Speaker, I want to declare my interest as a former user of sanitary towels, and as Dynasty as a former user of diapers, and as a future user of diapers. Because as a woman, once you get menopausal, you will have leaks and you will use diapers. And Mr. Speaker, I want to say, it's not all women, so Rosa should not be worried, but there are women who get leaks. And I want to say that there are people, because we don't want to have shame over menopausal issues, we don't want shame over period. And Mr. Speaker, I am saying this because I've been sitting here today listening patiently to the men talking about sanitary towels that is in the finance bill. And they are speaking with authority. If we wanted to save money, the way the finance committee has done, and want to tax anything else, go and tax men innerwears. Go and tax men innerwears. Don't speak on our issues as women. Let us be the one to speak about sanitary towels. We are the ones who know what works for us, and you are saying we want to encourage the local manufacturing. While you are waiting to enable our local manufacturing agencies to create those sanitary towels, will we tell our periods to stop? Our periods will not stop while you are manufacturing. Our girls will have their menses as usual, and the cost that they are used to will be higher because that will come through underground. What I am saying is, Mr. Speaker, I do not support the finance bill. And I'll give you the reasons why I don't support it. One, I don't support it because it's devoid of a strong policy underpinning. Number two, I don't support it because it's not premised on a better model, but on a beta model. The KK government told us that their things are premised on BETA, but increasingly we are seeing it premised on BITTER, beta model. That's why I'll not support it. And Mr. Speaker, the other reason I will not support it, it's because it encourages opulence. Look at how much money I have. Look at the price of my watch. It's a 5 million watch, and I'll explain why, Mr. Speaker. So do not be in a hurry to ask me to explain. I'm going to explain. Mr. Speaker, number one, the one I've talked about, the tax system that is devoid of a strong policy underpinning or premised on a flawed policy underpinning. I will give you the example of the eco-levy that seeks to strike a balance between the economy and ecology but fails miserably to do that. Mr. Speaker, if I give you an example, this government has actually sponsored or facilitated the roads in Fangano Island and the tarmac in Rusinga Island, even though they are taking pretty long. And I want to tell you, Mr. Speaker, that if you are to use this model, the taxing model that they are saying, then it means that a contractor who is doing those roads and earning billions on those roads, Mr. Speaker, when they destroy the environment, the fishermen from Rembaringiti, Rusinga, Mfangano, and Sukuru Island, who will be making at most 1,000, will be asked to repair that person's damage through tax, forgetting the PPP principle. The person who destroys is the one who should pay that damage, not me. The fisherman of Omena making 1,000, you're expecting me to pay the tax of a person who is earning billions doing that road. I do not support this tax. Mr. Speaker, I can give you another example. Mr. Speaker, the second example I'm going to give is on the issue of the smartphones again. And I want to thank Honorable Rachel Nyamai, who actually said that one of the ladies that she's sponsoring her education, when she talked to her, the lady told her, I'm here doing TikTok. And we do not actually seem to understand how that relates to this tax. Now I'll tell how it relates to this tax. Mr. Speaker, if you are taxing digital content, Mr. Speaker, this girl has gone to town. I can tell you after this, Rachel Nyamai, myself, and others will be on TikTok. The girls will be imitating us on TikTok. And they will be making money imitating us on TikTok. And then under this tax, we are telling them we are taxing you, TikTok. Why? They are doing that because there are no jobs. They have become innovative and look for their own jobs. And after they have got their own jobs, an industry that has not solidified, like teaching, like law, we want to kill that industry that is helping our young people. That is why the Gen Zs were on the streets. And Mr. Speaker, I'm so thrilled that I was shown a photo of a young girl who looks like me, and some people were saying, Millie, we can see you are here now, you can retire. And I wish she was in my constituency, I would have retired tomorrow. And Mr. Speaker, yesterday, my own niece, who I am the one who was raised since she was in primary school, she's lived in my house. I was with her. And I tried all means to try and divert her attention from what was going. How she managed to sneak in, and this morning she's telling me, and Mr. Speaker, before I got to what she was telling me, I told her, can I give you a lift to town? She told me, no, Auntie, I cannot be associated with members of parliament. Your generation, you have messed this country. We have to fix it. Gen Z. If we do not take Tuesday, Super Tuesday, as a wake-up call as a country, I don't know what else will take up as a wake-up call as a country. And I want to tell the president, who I served with in the same committee in parliament, who was my classmate in the university, fire those guys that you have hired who are giving you economic advice. They are not helping you at all. How do you even imagine bringing something like taxing bread, even if it is as a joke? That is a joke carried too far. That is a joke carried too far. You can crack those jokes elsewhere. You can find a situation where the young people have banned the country based on your joke. Try those jokes elsewhere. Because Kenyans are suffering. Kenyans are tired of being taxed. And if we cannot listen to the Kenyans who are tired of being taxed, we have no business being in this house. We must listen to the Kenyans. And I want to say that you have done well in trying to deal with some of those issues. But there are still very many that are still here, Mr. Speaker. Because we have a short time, I may not mention all of them. But I want to say, like, for instance, the eco-levy. We are talking about trying to be environmentally friendly. Yet the things that we are taxing, we are not doing exactly that, Mr. Speaker. And we are taking away jobs of young people by the tax. Look at the increase in fuel. We are taking with the right hand. We are saying we are removing the tax with the right hand and adding with the left hand. Mr. Speaker, I had a lot to say about this, but I can see my time is almost up. And what I can see on my side, they want to add me. But I want to say that because of time I may not speak, but I just want to urge the president, fire the guys who are around you, listen to Kenyans. I was speaking to some of my colleagues here. Thank goodness I've been here for a long time. I was speaking, Mr. Speaker, if you could humor me by just giving me 1 minute, and I'll conclude.
Conclude.
Thank you. I appreciate. Mr. Speaker, I was speaking to some of my colleagues here, and I will not mention their names. About 3 weeks ago, they know because I talked to them yesterday, and I was telling them, your ground is getting terrible. And they told
Time up. Pukose Robert. Your time is up, Millie. Take your seat. Order, Angela.
Mr. Speaker, I'm standing under Standing Order 97-3, as read together with 1. Honorable Bowen had requested that, this is a very important bill that the Kenyans are watching, and they want to hear what their members of parliament are saying about this, and whether they have listened to their issues that they have raised about this bill. So will I be in order to ask that we reduce the time to 5 minutes, no, even up to tomorrow, to 5 minutes, so that each member, we are 349 members. If each of us was to take 10 minutes, it would take us up to 2 weeks from now. Yeah, 3 months. Surely, we should be fair so that everybody can make a contribution to it. I have not contributed, and I've been here since morning. Yeah? Yes. So I start with me to have 5 minutes.
Order, honorable members. Earlier on in the morning, member for Marakwet, is it East? Bowen Kangoko raised the same issue. Now it's popping out again. Are we comfortable with 10 minutes or we reduce to 5 minutes? Order. Yes, Rafael Wanjala. Wanjala, I see you raising. Round 5. Otienda Amolo. Order. Otienda Amolo. Support 5. Order, honorable members. I will put the question. Will those who want the time to be reduced to 5 minutes say aye? Aye. Will those who want to retain 10 minutes say nay? Nay. The ayes have it. Okay, because order, honorable members, and I think order. I think it's only fair and just because my screen is bursting with the requests. So in 5 minutes, my teacher used to tell me, if you can't make your point in 2 minutes, you are unlikely to make it in 30 minutes.
Thank you.
Yes,
thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I stand to support this finance bill with amendments. Having listened to the people whom we represent, having complained about VAT on bread, having complained about the 2.5% tax on the vehicles, having listened to them that we want to create jobs for our people. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the committee, and I want to tell the public that the committee is made up of members from both the opposition and the government side, or the minority and the majority. So this bill was not made by Parliament. It was done by the executive and it's been brought to the House. Your members of Parliament have listened to what you wanted to be amended. And therefore, we want to pass it with those amendments, and that is the essence of the public participation. This bill was brought to the public participation, and it goes through the process. Honorable Speaker, when you listen to people outside there saying, reject the bill, this bill is also important because it has to raise part of the revenue to finance what the public requires from the government. And because it has to finance that, as we speak today, we've raised the money for counties to 400 billion. This bill is going to raise 346 billion. That 346 billion will be added with what is being collected in taxes to make it 400 billion so that the counties can have money to offer services. This is going to meet the budget deficit from what the government is collecting. So it is what the government continues to collect. And we need the public to understand that when a finance bill is done, it is a bill that will come into effect to support what the budget requires for the government to deliver. And therefore, we cannot say reject it in total, but you can also suggest what amendments should be done. And I think as people's representatives, we want to ask our Kenyans who are outside there, if you have amendments, you can approach your member of parliament, and the member of parliament can still have time to create that amendment. So the issue of saying reject the bill, I think should not be there. But we should be able to make those amendments, and I hope that our counterparts from the minority side will support those amendments so that we can be able to deliver and make sure that we have listened to what the Kenyan public demands of us. With those few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I support with amendments.
Honorable members, before I go to the next speaker, allow me to go back to order number 5 and allow the chair, JLAC, to table a very important paper in furtherance of one of the NADCO bills. Murugara, get a working mic. Give him a working mic.
Back by seat. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. My young son here must be advised that he should not make use of his father's seat. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Wednesday, 19th June 2024. Report of the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs on its consideration of the Senate amendments to the Independent Electoral and the Boundaries Commission Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 10 of 2024. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. We go back to the bill. Makali Mulu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to confirm that I've taken time to read through the bill itself and the report, which is 389 pages. Honorable Speaker, the idea of